SummerSlam 2018. The Elias live performance. Who interrupts it? Is it Bobby Lashley again?
Probably.
Good. B Team versus the Revival. I'm pulling for the Revival, but I think the B Team dumb luck streak continues.
I think it does as well, and that is going to make me very sad heading into the main card.
I was listening to the Eric Bischoff podcast this week, and they talked about how stupid the reviving elbow was when Hulk Hogan was incapacitated and Randy Savage hit him with an elbow to wake him up. That is a B Team spot. That is a spot where Bo Dallas is out, and Curtis Axel's looking around. He's like, how do I get him up? And he elbow drops his own guy and wakes him up. That should be a signature spot for them.
It should be. It should be.
Bludgeon Brothers, the New Day. Bludgeon Brothers are probably winning this.
They probably are, yeah.
Miz versus Daniel Bryan. I don't know how you could do this story and not have Daniel Bryan win this.
Unless they're extending the feud. Unless they're saying, okay, well, now we're going to do this for a while because people's reaction to this has been, God, I can't wait to see this. I want to see more of it, possibly. Then they say, okay, well, Miz is going to get the first one cheaply, and then we're going to see a rematch. That's possible, too. But, yes, I agree. If I was doing it, I would definitely have Daniel Bryan win this match.
Finn Balor is beating Baron Corbin.
1,000%.
Shinsuke Nakamura, Jeff Hardy. Nakamura's winning this match as well.
Nakamura's winning this match with the assistance from Randy Orton hitting an RKO on Jeff Hardy.
That whole situation gives right in the penis a whole new meaning.
It certainly does, now that you mention it. Yeah.
Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak. Cedric Alexander has been your Cruiserweight champion since WrestleMania. How do you think this one goes?
It's tough. I think it's time. I think it's time for somebody else to have it. Drew Gulak's got a ready-made faction with Gallagher and Kendrick as his henchmen. I think that works. It gives something for Cedric to chase. They've done this thing now with Mustafa Ali where he's got quote-unquote exhaustion and will be off TV for a while until he's quote-unquote recovered. If Drew Gulak has the belt, when Mustafa Ali comes back and Mustafa Ali is able to beat Drew Gulak, who's been his nemesis since the beginning of 205 Live, then you have a tension between Cedric and Mustafa Ali. You know, there's a lot of stuff to do there. Or they could be doing the thing where, like, Neville had the Cruiserweight title, this new iteration record for longest reign. So we'd like to scrub him from the record books. Thank you very much. So, Cedric, you're going to have this thing until next February or whenever it is. They could be doing that thing too.
Yeah, I think. Ah, man. I don't think they put enough juice behind Drew Gulak for them to put the title in. I mean, when Cedric was getting the title, you saw it beyond 205 Live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you saw it blasted on their social media all the time, like a lot of that.
Yeah.
Carmella, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. I am ready for the Carmella deal to end.
Yep.
I just don't know that it will. I think that maybe Becky and Charlotte cost each other the match and Carmella ends up winning.
Yeah. I could also see something along the lines of Charlotte screwing over Becky to get the pin on Carmella, kind of a thing. You know, Becky hits something, or Becky has Becky has her in the arm bar, the disarmer, and Charlotte knocks her off and puts her in the figure eight, something like that. Or you know what? I guess it's impossible to put Carmella in both submissions at the same time and have her tap out. That would be a kind of fun way to do it, but you have to be on your back for one and on your front for the other. So I'm not really sure how that would work. But yes, let's get it off Carmella. If we could, please.
Strowman versus Kevin Owens, Money in the Bank contract on the line. Strowman can lose via countout or DQ, which leads me to believe he will via one of those. Or else, why else have the stipulation when you can control it?
Yeah.
I think Owens is winning this.
I do too. It's really a shame because they had an awesome opportunity when they gave the case to Braun that he could just come out the next night on Raw and say, all right, Brock, meet me here at this time, and I'm going to beat you. I think that would have been an amazing thing they could have done, and they did not do it. And it's honestly, all it's been is a prop for Braun to carry when he's running around chasing Kevin Owens. So, yeah, if they're not going to actually use it, then put it on a guy who might, which is Kevin Owens.
Yeah, there is very little about Braun's run as Money in the Bank holder that made any sense. Made any freaking sense. It makes him look dumb.
The only thing I would say is if he retains tomorrow, then he's cashing it in at the end of the night. You know what I mean? Like they're figuring out some way of, well, Roman won, and you don't like that, but hey, Braun's here, like, or something like that. Like if they do that, it's gonna feel a lot like the end of WrestleMania 31.
Yeah. There are a lot of finishes that I think they could do with Reigns and Lesnar. I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of like 6 possible different ways it could go, from Heyman turning to Lesnar winning and getting cashed in on by Braun, to Reigns winning, Lesnar attacking, and the Shield showing up to take him out forever. Yeah. To Braun beating Lesnar, to Reigns winning, and then Braun cashes in, and then you have that feud. That's 6 off the top of my head.
And I'm going to go ahead and say none of those things.
None of them. And Reigns pinning Lesnar, or Lesnar pinning Reigns, and then nothing else.
And then nothing else. Yep.
Man. Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey, Raw Women's Championship. You already had the finish last month. Do they do it again, or does Rousey win?
God, this is the thing. Is I would not put it past Vince to say, no, I like my chicken shit blondes being the tag champs, the women's champs. Thank you. I'm just going to let that keep on both.
Ronda became a chicken shit when she saw that bat last night. That was hilarious.
That was funny. Listen.
Oh my God, there's a bat.
I want Ronda to win, but I don't know where you go from there. Like, Sasha and Bayley are doing other things. Like, I don't know who she feuds with. I mean, I guess Alexa Bliss gets a rematch, but we're never going to believe Alexa Bliss actually defeating Ronda Rousey. It's never believable now. You've ruined that. So there's other things you could do. I'll tell you what, I don't know how you could actually make this thing work, but I'd watch an Ember Moon versus Ronda Rousey match. I think Ember Moon's athletic enough to get away from Ronda Rousey whenever she needs to. You know, that would be interesting, but I don't think they're going to do that either. So my gut tells me Vince really likes having Alexa Bliss as his champion, and he's going to keep it that way.
AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. AJ Styles has had a really, really long run as champion, especially in this day and age for a guy like that, at his age even. Imagine if I would have told you years ago. Imagine if I would have told you after WrestleMania, his first year when he lost to Jericho, that he would have a 280-plus day reign as champion. That's awesome. It's overshadowed by Brock Lesnar, who is hitting 500, I think, tomorrow.
Right.
But that's an outstanding run. Does it end with Samoa Joe on Sunday?
I think it should. I think the Samoa Joe is his time to be champion. And I think that there's this could be an opportunity for them to tell a similar story, like to an NXT story with AJ Styles losing and losing his mind along with it, with the mind games that Samoa Joe's playing with him. Like, there's a way to have AJ Styles stare into the abyss and have the abyss stare back into him. I think there's a way of doing that with this that would be very interesting. But they might not. They might just keep it on AJ for a while, because
I think Joe wins. Lesnar, Reigns, we've already talked about how we think this ends, but is it Reigns or is it Lesnar that wins? Lesnar, 500 days. They're pushing him as, oh my gosh, worst champion. I hope to God Brooklyn just roars in cheer with Roman Reigns. So they just go ahead and pull the fucking trigger on it already.
I'm gonna say this. If they have another match like at Mania where the crowd just doesn't want to see the match at all, they just want the match to be over so we can move on to another story, because that's really what they were booing. They weren't booing the guys.
They were booing. That's what they were doing 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, they just wanted it to be over. And if they have another thing like that and the crowd reacts the same way and they do the same finish again, I've lost all confidence in this company. Like, you guys, you got to figure out a way to just read the room, dudes, and move on. Move on to something else. Something else is technically Roman Reigns being the champ. I know he's been the most important guy in the entire company for years, but now you actually make him the whole champ, and that's somehow a different thing.
Well, it's their way of saying, well, look, the show doesn't really revolve around him. He doesn't have the belt, the championship.